There's nothing like the feeling of dragging something home from the weeds and building something that looks like this. So we got the carpet in, gauges, new steering wheel. Peace out.
Buffalo, buffalo, buffalo.
You know what? I think he's gonna whack.
He looks really good with a Teletubby in front of him.
With a what? With a what in front of him? Are you okay? Hey, you're on film right now, you know. A what? What?
You look like a Teletubby. Oh, I love you.
Here's my sign, I mean.
I can't look at you.
We're family friends.
I know, but I'm gonna pee my pants.
So it's a tough decision to make, but I think it's the logical decision. Get a temporary roof over this, then even when it's raining, I can still be building and moving forward. The only thing I'm apprehensive about is how long it's going to take me to make this temporary roof, because one thing I have learned out here over the last 10 years is it's real easy to underestimate how long it's going to take to do something. And I can invest a day, 2, maybe 3 days into making a temporary roof, and then I think it'll be worthwhile as far as speeding up my productivity and helping keep me going. At the beginning of this year, I found myself in a situation where the shop in a box was beginning to disintegrate, which it does every 2 years because that's how long the plastic lasts you. It was beginning to disintegrate, and I had the RoadHouse garage sitting here needing interior walls, power, a ceiling, everything. And I made the decision that instead of investing more time into the shop in a box, I'd clear most of what was valuable out of there, put it in the RoadHouse garage and the big building. So I did that. But this is an area, I did a video on this calling it the block that needs to be cleaned up anyways before they come inspect the house. This all has to be cleaned up. And just a short time ago, when I got the green square body over there running, I almost backed that square body up here and hooked a chain from it to the shop in a box and just put the pedal to the metal, because everybody likes to watch destruction, and I have animosity towards the shop in a box. I don't know why. It's not the shop in a box's fault that it falls apart, that UV rays happen or whatever, but shop in a box, I'm gonna need you one more time. The shop in a box is not, it's not wide enough that way, and it's longer than it needs to be that way. So I have a unique idea to extend the width of it by taking some of the length, if that makes sense. But I'm gonna put this to work one more time. Typically, when I've revamped the shop in a box, it'll last me 2 years. I don't need that. I need a few months. And I have a brand new piece of the plastic that I put over it last time that I know lasted 2 years. I have a brand new, unmolested, in the box piece. So I'm gonna get this frame taken down, make the adjustments to make it the right size over there, and hopefully it won't take me a long time, but it's gonna be a lot better to have the house and the section that I'm building covered. So I'm gonna go to work on that, folks. I'll be back. Classic Truck Rescue. Well, sometimes it's good to think about something overnight. I had a bit of a day of drudgery yesterday. A few days ago it rained. It didn't rain a lot. Well, it was a lot more rain than we've been having. But this is Oregon, and there's gonna be rain. So I'm just gonna make this quick. I wound up with a lot of water in here, and it was just after I had gotten most of the vapor barrier down. You can see a patch section that I'm putting in right now. It's the final piece that I'm gonna tape down, and then all of the vapor barrier will be in. But that part wasn't finished yet. It rained and I had puddles. You can see a couple puddles over here, little bitty ones left over. But I had big puddles, and I had a lot of water in here, and it took me about an hour and a half or 2 hours. I tried all 3 of my shop vacs, wound up sucking up plastic, and it was useless for getting the water out. What I ended up doing was I've built in a bunch of slack in the vapor barrier between the pier pads, both going this way and going this way, where when you step right next to one, you're not ripping the vapor barrier on the concrete pier pad itself. So with that slack, I was able to lift up on the vapor barrier in between the pier pads and move the water. So I moved it all this way. Then I started in the middle and moved some this way and some that way until it spilled over the edges, and I got rid of the water that way. It was also sunny. It got up to 90 degrees, dried everything out real good. Like I said, I got a couple little spots left, nothing to worry about. I'm gonna get in here, tape this down, and then the vapor barrier's done. But I was reminded while I was spending all that time yesterday getting rid of the water, I was reminded of how I had to keep weeding in here, because every time I would weed the whole thing, something would come up. I'd have to go do some work, pay some bills, make videos, something, and I'd come back over here a couple days later and there'd be weeds everywhere. I don't want another situation like that with the rain and the weeds. I want it to stay dry under our house. It's really dry under here right now, and I want to keep it that way. So I've made a decision. I'm going to cover this area. The trusses and the roof are the last things that have to be done. There's a logical order to building. You start at the ground and work your way up. I've got to get the floor joists in here, the posts supporting them, the floor itself, and build the walls. I'm not going all the way to the very top with my temporary roof. I'm just going high enough that I can get the side walls and the beam on each end that the truss is set on. You can see the beams right there, and there's one on the other end. They're cut off. 1, 2, 3. I got to get those beams in. So I'm going to make my temporary roof tall enough where I can get those beams in, because if I have a roof over it and get the beams in, I can take the roof off, and then all I have to do is put in the trusses, sheet the top, shingle the top. We're done. Well, I got some stuff done yesterday. Remember this? The shop in a box. And boy, do I have a mess over here. But this is the section I need right now. It's going to rain tomorrow, and I got to get a temporary roof up over the middle of the house. Deer poo. Lots of deer out here. Anyway, that's going to become my temporary roof over that section so I can keep building even when it rains. It's going to rain tomorrow. It's going to rain a lot. I don't want all my clean, fresh vapor barrier and foundation getting soaking wet. Now, this is going to look horrible over here. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Sometimes you got to make a mess to clean up a mess. And I'm making a mess, but I'll clean it up. Actually, this is going to help me. All things work together for the good of those who love God and are the called according to his purposes. I had this cleaned out a long time ago, most of it, but I had left some stuff. I've been kind of juggling things, but I knew this had to be dealt with. There's just enough stuff left that once I get that roof on, I'm going to come over here and get the rest of this stuff out of this area, weed this. There's good gravel all the way back in there. There's a Corvette and Tinker in there. They got to come out, go in the building. The Copenhagen tent needs to come down, probably, since Tinker's holding that post up in the middle. And I'll deal with that. But right now, all hands on deck getting that over there. But I'm not going to film every bit of this. It's drudgery work. It's just work. I'd rather get the work done and come back and give you regular updates. So I'll be back when I get something done. So this is exactly why this area has to be covered. I wasn't able to get it covered yesterday, but I just returned from the big box store and have everything I need to, starting early tomorrow morning, get a roof over all this.